Namaste everyone, I'm Nirvana Chaudhary and I'm absolutely delighted to be presenting Making It Bigger Part 4. There was this person who was running around the beach, and every time the waves got in the live seashells, he was picking up one of them and keep going on throwing it back to the sea. There was a philosopher at a distance seeing this man running up and down and went to him and said, there are hundreds and thousands of live seashells that every time a wave comes, and you're going on throwing back each one of them. How will you be able to save them? What difference is it going to make? So he picks up one live seashell and he says, it's going to make a difference to this one. With this is my entire idea of sharing my experiences, my learnings, and my journey of life with you all, if at all it can make a difference in your life. Well, also one of the questions that I'm continuously asked is about my first business, which broke even in 3 days. That how did you do it with absolutely no capital support? And it was the entire essence of the art of deal. It was a story of an entrepreneur who was back then working in this Manhattan clothing shop as a salesperson. The clothing shop was owned by this Chinese couple who were old and did not have children and wanted to eventually sell off this prime piece of land which had the clothing store. This sales and marketing person said, please sell this store to me. And because he was hardworking, the Chinese couple committed to the person that, sure, if you're able to find the funds for us, it's yours. He went into the Hyatt family and said, I have a prime piece of land, I will get the funding, are you ready to set up the hotels? Giving them projections of how Manhattan's prime property and the growth of tourism can help them. He went into the bank and I told them the same thing, that I have a prime piece of land and I have Hyatt Hotel wanting to come set up a hotel. Are you ready to finance it? So he had the bank ready, the finance ready, and the prime piece of land ready, and he became the chairman of that company. Very similarly, I had done this in my first business where I was trying to really revolutionize the money remittance, which today is country's largest contributor to our GDP. 85 to 88% of the money coming in the year 2000 was through illegal channels, through hundi. We had to do something which would do a paradigm shift to this industry. I worked and lobbied very hard in the central bank to make and amend some policies which would later on change the dynamic of this industries. I contacted Western Union, which is a very leading money remittance company in the world, and I told them and convinced them that if we were to grow this product in Nepal, that they would invest 50% and I would manage the 50%. I then went on to establishing a very good network, vast network all across Nepal. And I told my sub-agent the same thing, that you put in your commitment of 50% and I'll manage 50%. So I had Western Union and my sub-agents putting in 50% each, and the company just broke even. And till date is one of the fastest growing companies. So the art of deal, the way you structure it, is what the background of what people keep asking me about my CG Finco days in 2002 was all about. Going forward, we'll go through ups and downs, the challenges that we have. And one very interesting story of one particular business that was struggling 10 years ago, I would like to share with you. There was a particular company that we were struggling with, and over at dinner, one of our partners, the head of that company, was sharing with me the example and story of Genghis Khan's strategy of growing his empire. Genghis Khan would never ever go to battle with a particular country or an area which is bigger than them or stronger than them. It would always go into battle in smaller territories, and going and winning battles in smaller territories made them so big. This is the same strategy we adopted in one of our companies, which we were fighting with a big multinational who had no focus outside of Kathmandu. And we started to really, taking cue from the Genghis Khan strategy, we started to really get our products into the most heart and deep-rooted smaller cities in our country. And today, Nepal's homegrown brand is competing or giving a tough time to the multinational brand. You're required to be agile nowadays. You're required to really think out of the box. Today's day and age. You really have to see an opportunity where no one else does. You really have to see how can you create something out of nothing. This is what's going to differentiate your entire way of thinking. There are books written about how you're going to differentiate yourself, how you're going to think differently. And that comes from having a mentor. That comes from seeing and experiencing and going through your ups and downs in life. But once you've committed and made your goal, you have to go completely forth at it. In life, with a positive attitude, you're constantly trying to learn and grow and get experience and knowledge from elsewhere. I've developed a habit of reading a lot of books, and I came across one book that has had an impact on my life. And I want to share with you some of the lessons from that. The book I want to share with you is called Ikigai. It's been going on for centuries in Japan. It's a Japanese concept. And what it basically tells you is, and asks you, Ikigai is an ancient, hundred of years old concept, just underlying the basic fundamental theories about life and your outlook and perspective towards life. What it basically asks you are some of the fundamental questions. For the Ikigai to happen, you need to ask yourself one fundamental question. What do you actually love doing? What are you passionate about? What is it that really makes you happy? Is it singing? Is it dancing? Is it speaking publicly or becoming a doctor, anything that you really, really enjoy doing? Second thing is, what is it that the world really needs? You call it demand and supply, or if you are good at becoming a doctor and there's a need for that particular services, you need to be able to identify those services. Third, something that pays you. You've developed that passion you enjoy doing, which the world needs. Now you have to ensure a way and find a way that passion and that hobby and whatever you love, what the world needs, must be able to pay you as well. Because let's not kid ourselves, we do need capital, we do need money in order to fulfill even the comfortable life that we all choose to be. Number 4 is, what are you really good at? What you love, what the world needs, what you're getting paid for, and what you're good at. You've got to figure out what you're good at. You might love dancing and singing and becoming a doctor, but are you good at it? So you've got to constantly work towards perfecting that. You need to have a vision for that. You need to be able to translate that vision into a mission, that how are you going to chase this? Trust me, in life, if you've decided you want to do something, you've just got to fold your sleeves and go at it till the time you solve that problem. Once you found out your Ikigai, there are 4 other aspects that you might want to consider. Spiritual capacity is all about who you are and what you want. Intellectual capacity is about how you're going to fulfill those dreams, that plans that you have, most effectively and efficiently. That's intellectual capacity. Then comes physical capacity, your overall well-being, your health, your peace of mind. That's why I keep talking about being compassionate, practicing meditation through mindfulness. It is so important to have a good physical capacity. Then comes emotional capacity, your ability to deal with challenges, your ability to look at everything positively, your attitude in life, your entire outlook in life. I think these 4 capacities, coupled with the fundamental theory of Ikigai, can really bring about a lot of clarity into your life. These principles, coupled with the Ikigai concept, has given me a lot of clarity into life. It has given me a lot of clarity into going forward. You're constantly doing things and planning for the future. You're looking at life, where it will be 10 years from now. Start looking into that. You're constantly looking at doing something today that will be relevant 10 years from now. My cousins have come up to me and they've asked me that, what do I study in my university? I told them, you've got to study today. The way the whole world is getting so dynamic and evolving, you've got to study something today which is going to be relevant 5 to 10 years from now. And it's not just going to be our old school of accounts or engineering, etc. Today you have the advantage of choosing the right specific topics of the vast amount of syllabus that is available to us today. So be open-minded, think into the future, see what is going to be relevant today, see what is going to be relevant 10 years from now, and start working on it today. We keep talking about disruptions. It's all about attitude, all about having a positive mindset. I think with the right Ikigai, with the right principles, with the ability and the fire and the compassion, I think we are able to do tremendous things. And at the end, let's not forget that we are all here to make a difference in this world. Let's all play our part and stay happy. Thank you.